In branding today, one piece of advice that we make to all our clients is loyalty is the word of the past. Brand loyalty today has become more difficult because the brands are available on our fingertips. And we can make comparisons and we make our choices by sitting at the place wherever we are. As opposed to previous days when you had to make the physical effort to reach and experience the brand yourself. So in this context of brand loyalty being always on a slippery surface, where do you think content plays an important role in at least arresting brand loyalty so that even if there is a slide, it is not immediate and it is gradual?
Yes, I think it's a very pertinent point that you have raised, Dr. Content, again, has a very, very critical role to play in this. Content creates the personality of a brand. Content creates a very unique voice of a brand, and this uniqueness sets you apart. It cuts through the industry clutter and makes you, much more visible than the others. And this is done through consistent and compelling content over a period of time, through which your target group comes to respect you as a leader in the industry, because they know that all their queries can have a single point stop for answers, and which is this. And this is something, I think it kind of answers your question probably, that how do you stand?
Does it also help in building an authenticity around the brand?
Yes, of course it does. The moment you have answered all the queries to their satisfaction, you have troubleshooted all the issues which they have raised, they regard you as a leader in the industry, which automatically is actually authenticity.
In fact, this takes me to the next most important area of brand management in this digital area, which is online reputation management. Brands which have handled online reputation proactively, which has handled online reputation management transparently, and which has not hesitated in accepting if there is a fault, and has been able to satisfy the customer's queries using curated content which is relevant and not trying to divert the customer's attention from the problem that the customer is facing, has always gone up in terms of their authenticity. I'll give an example. I was traveling with one of the chairmen of one of the companies with whom we consult, and we were supposed to take an evening flight from Delhi to Kolkata. And afternoon 2 o'clock we got this message from this airline saying that the flight is delayed by a couple of hours today. Now if you ask me, that's not the best thing for happen to a brand. However, look at the way the chairman and this secretary is saying, VP, we have got 2 more hours to work. So therefore, something which is unfavorable has become favorable by proactive behavior of the brand. Most importantly is the content, that it is late. Even far more important is the timing of the content, that I have enough time to use that additional time before coming to the airport. I have also faced a situation where I received a similar message after I have gone through a security check and waiting at the gate to board the flight.
Right.
Now that is where it will create a negative impact on the mind of the consumer. The important point that we are trying to sort of emphasize through this entire conversation is that content is just not about saying or writing anything and everything. Content has to be curated in the language of the person for whom the content is meant to.
Yes.
It is not about how much the brand knows itself. It is about what the customer needs to know to buy or engage with the brand with greater degree of confidence and assurance. However, the most important point that any brand must remember is that whatever is the content which talks of the intention of the brand, that has to be fulfilled when the brand actually interacts with the brand, with the customer actually interacts with the brand. I remember one bank which has got 3 words to its name. Now it's got merged to some other public sector bank. And the first letter was U. And the campaign of the bank said that it all begins with you. Where the U was supposed to be YOU. I have banked with that bank. And you go there and you are asked, who are you? Why are you here? We have to work harder because of you. Come back tomorrow. Now this is where there is a contradiction between what you are communicating and what the consumer is actually expecting. Thank you, Shubhra, for this insightful discussion. Anything as last few comments that you would like to add for this part of the discussion?
Yes, very quickly, I mean, as kind of a corollary to what you said just now, I think, content should act like a map, it should act like a map which should guide your target audience to the values of your brand. So it must chart a course for your target audience, and also something which we must not forget, there should be very clear calls to action. So once your target audience has interacted with your brand through this mapping, through this route, they must know what to do next. So the next steps must be very clearly delineated. I think that is the journey, and the loop is completed there when they click that button.
In summary of what we have discussed, content is just not about the television commercial. It is just not about what is written in a print advertisement. It is not about what is written about on the OOH media or spoken on the radio. Content is what is much more dynamic than these static content. A. B. Content is actually more useful for the digital media, and today digital medium is the most intrusive form of media interaction with prospective customers and existing customers. The important point about content is it not only helps us to attract new customers, it also helps us in retaining existing customers who are anyway working on a very slippery brand loyalty slope. Try content, try managing your brands using content. You will see the difference for yourself.